David, a 30-year-old travel blogger known for his adventurous spirit and love for exploring diverse cultures, was filled with excitement as he boarded the flight to Russia. It was a destination he had long dreamt of visiting, a land rich in history, art, and stunning landscapes. With his camera, a well-planned itinerary, and savings from months of work, David was ready to embark on what he anticipated to be the journey of a lifetime. Upon arrival in Moscow, David was awestruck by the city's grandeur, the majestic Kremlin, the vibrant Red Square, and the bustling streets filled with the echoes of a complex history. Eager to document every experience, he immersed himself in the local culture, capturing moments and stories to share with his followers. However, David's adventure took an unexpected turn during a night out in the city. As he navigated through the crowded streets, relishing the vibrant nightlife, he found himself in a less frequented part of the city. It was there, amidst the unfamiliar alleys, that he encountered the harsh reality that can befall any traveler. He was robbed. In an instant, his money, passport, and camera were gone, leaving him stranded in a foreign land with no means to support himself. In the aftermath of the robbery, David found himself in a state of shock and disbelief. He was miles away from home, without money, identification, or the tools of his trade. The language barrier further complicated his situation, making it difficult to seek help. David, once a confident traveler, suddenly felt vulnerable and isolated. His first step was to approach the local police. The process was daunting, filled with bureaucratic hurdles and communication challenges. Though the authorities were sympathetic, the chances of recovering his stolen belongings were slim. David left the police station feeling despondent, realizing the gravity of his predicament. With limited options, David reached out to the local community. He visited hostels and cafes, explaining his situation to anyone who would listen. His story resonated with fellow travelers and locals alike, some of whom offered him food and a place to stay for a few nights. This kindness from strangers was a glimmer of hope in his dire situation. However, as days turned into weeks, David's situation became increasingly desperate. He took up odd jobs, from helping at a local cafe to assisting in a hostel, to earn enough for basic necessities. Each day was a struggle for survival, far removed from the adventurous journey he had envisioned. The experience was a harsh lesson in the unpredictability of travel and the importance of safety and preparedness. David's dream trip had turned into a daily battle for survival, testing his resilience and adaptability in ways he had never imagined. The turning point in David's ordeal came about a month into his unintended extended stay in Russia. While working at a small cafe in exchange for meals, he met Alexei, a local journalist who was intrigued by David's story. Sensing an opportunity, David shared his experiences in detail: the robbery, the challenges he faced, and his daily struggles to survive in a foreign land. Moved by David's plight, Alexei decided to feature his story in a local publication. The article vividly described David's journey, the robbery, and his resilience in the face of adversity. It wasn't long before the story garnered attention, resonating with both locals and the international community. The article was a catalyst that changed everything. Offers of help started pouring in. Some locals offered financial assistance, others provided leads on potential jobs, and a few even reached out to their contacts in the embassy to assist with his passport issue. The most heartwarming support came from fellow travelers and blog followers who had learned about his situation through the article and social media. This outpouring of support was overwhelming for David. For weeks, he had felt alone and helpless, but now he was experiencing a wave of human kindness and solidarity. The situation was a stark reminder of the inherent goodness in people and the power of sharing one's story. Buoyed by the support from the community and his followers, David began to see a path out of his predicament. The assistance from the local embassy, facilitated by Alexei's contacts, led to the issuance of a temporary passport. Meanwhile, the financial aid he received from well-wishers enabled him to secure a flight back home. In his final weeks in Russia, David's experience transformed from one of survival to one of gratitude and reflection. He continued to work at the cafe, not just for necessity, but also to give back to those who had helped him. He documented his experiences in a series of blog posts, sharing the lessons he learned about vulnerability, resilience, and the kindness of strangers. The day David left Russia, he felt a mix of emotions. There was relief at the thought of returning home, but also a sense of sadness in leaving behind the people who had become an unexpected part of his journey. The experience had changed him. He was no longer just a travel blogger seeking adventures, but a storyteller who had lived through an extraordinary adventure of his own. Back in his home country, David's perspective on travel and life had fundamentally shifted. The ordeal in Russia, while harrowing, had enriched him with deeper insights into the human experience. He realized that the most compelling stories often come from the most unexpected and challenging situations. His blog took on a new tone, focusing not just on the wonders of travel, but also on its risks and the importance of empathy and community. His audience grew, drawn to the authenticity and vulnerability of his storytelling. David became an advocate for travel safety, sharing practical tips and insights gained from his ordeal. Reflecting on his journey, David understood that the robbery, though traumatic, was a pivotal experience that had led to unexpected growth and connections. It taught him the value of resilience, the unpredictability of life, and the power of human kindness. Years later, David would look back at his time in Russia not with bitterness, but with a sense of gratitude for the lessons it taught him. The incident didn't deter him from traveling. Instead, it made him a more mindful, prepared, and empathetic traveler and person.